Hey, everybody. Joel Pirate here. Welcome back to another Drunken Rambling podcast. I'm here with the boy. Say hi.
Hi. How's it going?
This is Andrew. Today is Andrew's 17th birthday.
17.
Happy birthday.
Happy Birthmas.
Happy born on day. You're like a beer, only better. Oh, I don't think I'd want to drink a 17-year-old beer, but
I thought you were going to say 17-year-old
I don't
boy.
want to drink a 17-year-old boy either. No. Speaking of beer, there we go. All right. So, yeah, I thought we'd get him on the podcast today and just, let you guys meet him, introduce him. Now get the fuck out. No, I'm kidding.
I was getting all ready and everything.
No, I know you were. No, but I wanted to talk to him about, life thus far. I mean, it's been a long time since I was 17. Maybe some of you are 17. Maybe it's been a long time since some of you were 17. And, for the female viewers, it's probably been never since you were a 17-year-old boy. So, yeah.
I mean, if you were, then congratulations.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner. But that's a bad joke. I'm really sorry about that.
We're going to get hate on that.
I'm going to get hate on that. Yep. But no, I just wanted to talk to him about, what your life has been like so far. I mean, how's life?
Life is like a box of chocolates.
That's true.
It doesn't last long for fat people.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And it gets melty in warm weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one question, and this is something that I don't know because I've only ever asked myself this question, but what's the earliest thing you can remember?
The earliest thing I can remember, which is convenient because it relates to beer, I was
Trained him well.
like 3 or 4.
Oh, 3 or 4.
And I was by the front door, and this is when we had that old TV stand with a big TV.
Oh, yeah.
The dinosaur, and I was like, I just got to the point where I could walk around without falling on my face.
Yep.
And I had this red and blue striped shirt on, and the first thing
I remember that shirt. Holy crap.
Yeah, and you were just like, okay, this is going to be the rest of your life. Like, hand it to me. When you're older, you can learn how to crack it.
I think you were 3.
Something like that.
Yeah. Teach him how to get me a beer.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing. That's my earliest memory.
Well, no, just think of it as bartender training. You have had 14 years of training to be a bartender. I'm sorry about smacking that, guys. That's going to pop. I'll mute that out.
I'm the Olympiad bartender. Been training since birth.
Yeah, no doubt.
The Rocky IV montage.
Everybody needs a montage. Oh, copyright.
You told me not to, and you're doing it.
Yeah, but that was quick, so they won't catch. YouTube won't catch that, and it was way out of tune, so YouTube definitely won't catch that. Yeah,
it's a good thing you're tone deaf.
That's true. So yeah, good talk. Thanks. No, but after that, I mean, like, what? I mean, have there been like these giant moments in your life yet that, things you'll never forget for the rest of your life? And I mean, tell the world what it's like to be a 17-year-old kid, for fuck's sake,
Well, because of you, most of my most fond memories have to deal with horsepower and cars, and
I trained him well.
A lot of my fondest memories are of your Jeep.
My Jeep was cool. I miss my Jeep.
Your XB for that 30 seconds you owned it.
That's a long story. I don't even want to go into it.
The Prius, which was an embarrassment.
Oh, but it was so pretty. Oh, that car was so pretty. Oh, and don't let anybody talk you down about 2010 Prius. Those fuckers are fast. I mean, you hit the race button and you stomp on it, man. Pooh, it's gone. That thing's quick. Didn't handle real great, but it was quick.
Honestly, for the first, 10 years of my life, I didn't necessarily have, super, this is a defining moment in my life moments.
Yeah.
As of recently, I'm starting to have those, within the last 5-ish years.
Such as?
As of recently, I got a job for 2 weeks, and it was awful.
You had a job.
Starting off with a horrible experience is always a great way to start something.
Yeah. He was working at the state fair.
Yeah.
Doing concessions and taking out the trash and shit like that.
Yeah, with 17-hour days back to back, it was.
Yeah, deplorable working conditions in the middle of the summer, and
It was awful. But
no pay and
a lot of my more recent achievements have to deal with. I've been asked to do many a thing at school. I mean, I've declined
many a thing.
Many a thing.
Talking above his station a little bit there.
Such as clubs. Most of them have to deal with like debate team and a lot of things to do with English and literature because I dominate those classes.
Yeah.
I have
that shit.
I have a very great grasp.
He
of
can speak English.
Wow, you can perform a simple human trait. Congratulations.
Well, I wouldn't call it simple. I mean, I imagine there's people in Uganda who can't speak English, and they're like, wow, he can speak English. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then there's us. It's just like, oh, you can speak English.
Yeah, yeah.
But
which I never understood. You know how a person can fail English. I'm sure it's possible, but for me, it's the language I speak. So I'm really, and I'm talking about Americans here. I'm not talking about like, foreign countries or whatever.
Yeah, like you're naturalized into the language.
Yeah, I mean, I've been speaking this since I was, old enough to speak. So, yes, I know how to speak English. Now, how the hell do you fail English?
So you haven't been speaking this since you were young enough to speak it?
I have been, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I said, wasn't it?
No, I made it all backwards.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to confuse you, just trying to tie you up.
Yeah, it worked, yeah. But no, how the hell do you fail English? I mean... the only way I could see that you would fail English is if you just don't try.
You could fail English by showing up to Spanish.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, see?
See?
You wouldn't have thought of that without me here.
Yeah. See, that's why I got him on the show. Doug's going nuts. Oh, speaking of Doug, Veronica. This is for Veronica. In the last podcast, you had asked me about the dog, and I told you I'd get the dog on. After this interview and after the rest of the podcast, I did record a little bit with the dog, and I'm going to throw that little bit on the end. It's pretty freaking cute. He was just cute right at the exact time.
Keep in mind,
badass.
The second he's on camera, he's the most adorable animal, but the second he's off camera, he's pretty annoying.
The dog, the boy is not the dog's fan. He's not a fan. But granted, the dog can be annoying and yappy and a big pain in the ass. Lately, he's got this new thing where he likes to hide under the deck. And now the deck is like a foot, 30 centimeters for you metric people. The deck is like a foot off the ground. And the dog is, a little more than a foot. So he can squeeze in there pretty easy, but it's just a pain in the ass to have to drag him out.
Yeah, because when you step onto the deck and you go to look for the dog, he's nowhere to be found. And you think, oh, great, he broke his chain and ran off.
Yeah, some days I wish he would, but no. But no, yeah. So we actually went tonight to look at his first car.
Oh, yeah, what a great flop that was.
The car turned out to be a piece of shit. The guy said in his ad, oh, by the way, it runs and drives. So we're like, all right, sweet. We'll meet you.
Before you mention all of this, keep in mind that I have been sitting home all day hyping up. Like, I'm going to get my first car.
Yeah.
Just freaking out. I mean, like, I've been running around the house all day. I just haven't been able to sit still, and then we do this, and then you can continue.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about chickens and counting them and all this shit. So,
I count mine 6 times.
Yeah. He had a lot of chickens. But no car. Yeah, so we go to look at this car, and the guy, the ad on the Craigslist says, runs and drives, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, we'll meet you at this place at this time. I rush home from work. Well, at work, I get this message. Well, I pulled it out of the backyard, and I don't suggest you drive it because the front end's making a weird noise. Try to ask him what kind of noise, but he doesn't know. So, I'm like, all right, we'll go check it out anyway. So we get there, like, well, it doesn't run because the battery's dead, and like, all right, now you're starting to lose me here. And then, yeah, we get, like I say, we look at this thing, and he obviously showed the good side of the car on Craigslist because the rest of it was not great.
He actually mentioned no rust on the ad.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh my God, the whole passenger side of the car was nothing but rust. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Yeah, so it turns out, I'm like, we're gonna pass on this for right now. And he's like, well, we really need to get it gone tonight because we have no heat. And, I'm sorry that, life has hit you so hard that you don't have heat.
Oh, I mean, we've been there.
Yeah, it's happened to a lot of us. But don't try to guilt me into buying your car, dude. I mean, come on. If you're going to do that, be like, well, I'd knock $100 off if you still want it. You know, I probably would have done it. But
hey, there's $100.
That would have paid for the tow truck at least. But, yeah, he's going on about this, how it runs and drives, and then we get there and it doesn't run and drive. And just don't misrepresent yourself. It makes you look bad. It's a little tip from me to you. Oh, by the way, yeah, I cut my finger.
Phone home.
E.T.
Ow.
Ow. Good. Yeah. Nice pull. So, some of you guys wanted to know about my R2-D2 build. Well, this is where we're at so far. I have this piece. This is the radar eye. It's very pretty.
And how long have you spent on just this piece?
Most of this week. This is
and
just
you have to build
filler.
an entire astromech.
I didn't mean to flip you off. I'm sorry. Yeah, they take. I mean, the good ones take 2-3 years to build. So, fuck off. No, this is just filler. I got to sand that flat and everything. It'll look really, really, really good here in the next few days. But no, as I was trimming a piece of this is the styrene plastic that I was talking to you guys about. Comes in sheets. Excuse me. Comes in sheets, you know.
And this is the astromech's penis.
And this is the astromech's cock ring. No, but no, this is the stuff. And I was cutting it with Jan X-Acto knife, and Jan X-Acto knife jumped the ruler and went whoop, over the tip of my finger. Kind of hurt. I didn't cry, though.
Keep in mind,
I was pissed.
That plastic is white. I mean, he is white, but I mean, I think I could be able to just, tell the two apart.
Are you turning this into a racial joke?
No, I'm just turning this into a really white joke.
Oh. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. So, aside from that, by the way, yeah, good story. Pinky up for Couth. So you have, so he's in high school, by the way.
Am I? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's supposed to be.
I am in high school.
He doesn't always go.
I am in high school.
He doesn't always go.
I do. My girlfriend is cracking down on me on that.
Yeah. By the way, he has a girlfriend. So he's not gay.
Speaking of...
Mission accomplished, Not that I would care if he was, honestly, as long as he's happy.
Speaking of my girlfriend, back to the car conversation.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time we were there, my dad and I are serious. We're walking out. We're like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. We're talking about the car. We're just like, oh, does it run? He's like, oh, move the engine, make sure the mounts are okay. And then my girlfriend's like, there's a cat!
It was a pretty cat. To be fair, it was a cute little cat. And he was pretty vocal, too. Kind of thing. Speaking of Kitty, is he up there?
No.
He's not up there.
I feel like we just did Spaceballs right there. Like we're being filmed from behind.
Oh, God. Oh, and speaking of Spaceballs, I finally found the absolute perfect fat guy cosplay costume. Barf from Spaceballs. Totally gonna do it. So that's another build.
The first thing you have to do.
That.
The first thing you have to do for the con is
I'll have to shave.
No. When you go to when you're already at the con, you're in costume. Before you get out of the car, you have to stand up with the seatbelt still on.
Ow! That's gonna leave a mark. Which is actually kind of funny because I use that line all the time. It's gonna leave a mark. But yeah, Barf from Spaceballs. Totally gonna rock that costume. I was thinking maybe going with a little older Barf. That way the gray mixes in, right? And I could just leave the beard, but I don't know. I might just go with the standard stock issue Barf.
If I get the right glasses, I might be able to pull off Rick Moranis.
Moranis, yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
Dark Helmet?
Yeah. I'm not short enough, though.
No.
Although you're taller, so it might work.
I'm a little taller. Not by much. Actually, I was thinking for a cosplay for you could totally pull off like a Boba Fett. Because you're thin.
For cosplays, Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars is amazing.
We'll get to the Star Wars minute, which takes 10 in a little bit. Don't worry. I got some good stuff for you this week.
But there's a Batman character I was thinking of cosplaying, and it's Hush.
Don't know him.
Hush is was a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne's, and
like a blankie.
No, Hush is an actual kid.
Oh, okay.
He had the same situation as Bruce, except he still had his parents, obviously. But, they were both rich kids, very well privileged. And Hush didn't really like his parents all that much, so when Bruce lost his, he became super jealous and obsessive with Bruce. And eventually he learns out that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and then he becomes Hush. And he's got martial arts training, and he can use weapons, but he mainly wears a trench coat, combat boots, and he's covered from head to toe in bandages. He's not injured, he's just covered head to toe in bandages.
Why?
To protect his identity. Bandages are cheap, so are trench coats.
Ew, the mummy strikes.
Wish I could do a Brandon Fraser impression right now. That'd ruin the whole podcast.
I don't think anybody could do a Brendan Fraser impersonation. Yeah.
But, I mean, that would be a nice and easy one because I do own many a trench coat.
Yeah. He does. He's got a thing for trench coats. He's got a purple one. It's really cool. Look kind of like the Joker or something.
Like Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. Well, man, that's a debate, man.
Who's the best Joker?
The best Joker. God. Nicholson's performance was baller. Heath Ledger, I think Heath Ledger knocked it out of the fucking park. I honestly like Heath Ledger's more than Nicholson.
I get a lot of shit just because I like Cesar Romero the most.
Cesar, you gotta give it up. A classic Batman.
Come
on.
But when it comes to, like, the dark side of the Joker, obviously Heath Ledger is going to dominate there. But when it comes to the cocky side of the Joker, Jack Nicholson's just got that down.
The only now, as far as like Jared Leto's Joker that's coming up,
don't get me started.
He does. I like the look of the character, but I don't like Jared Leto. Now, if they could do Jared Leto's, I mentioned this to him the other day. If they could take Jared Leto's Joker. Just have Jared Leto do the whole damn thing, and then pull a goddamn Darth Vader on him, and just have Mark Hamill dub the fucking voice after the movie's done, like they did with David Prowse. David Prowse thought, well, we'll get to Star Wars in a bit, but David Prowse thought he was going to be the voice. No, at the last minute, Lucas was like, no, let's get this guy, and it worked out for the best. If they could put Mark Hamill's Joker voice over Jared Leto's performance. Perfect. Oh, I think it would be amazing.
I'm definitely with you on that one. I dislike the voice of Jared Leto's Joker. I mean, the character itself is very intimidating. I understand they're trying to modernize the Joker because, like, a lot of the older ones, you know, he's a very swank, like 30s gangster. He's got the pinstripe going.
Nicholson's guy was definitely
and now,
that guy.
He's got tattoos and the cat teeth from being busted out by Batman and a lot of that. But his voice is just he sounds like a bag lady at a grocery store. I'm not intimidated by it. As a matter of fact, it makes me giggle, and the whole point of the Joker is to intimidate you.
Yeah, I think this is going to be... I think Jared Leto's Joker is going to be very comic booky, and I don't think it's going to go over
Have
well,
you seen
honestly.
the car?
The look... I've seen the car.
Not the Batmobile.
The Joker's car. Yeah, what was it? Like a freaking...
No, it's a custom car, but it's like a Hot Wheels car with a purple chrome. And...
Yeah, it's going to be very comic booky, which... I don't know. If you're into comic booky... Fine, but Batman's supposed to be a dark universe. And
Christopher Nolan, best Batman.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, there were some things that they did wrong. But what Batman movie hasn't done something wrong? I mean...
I can tell you one Batman movie that was entirely wrong. Val Kilmer.
There was parts of that were actually okay, though.
The best part about Val Kilmer's Batman is he was... I mean, yeah, he did have a nice figure, but he's still the chubby face. They have the Batman suit on, and it's all pushed forward. And just...
Yeah, they definitely hired him for this area right here. Because we don't give a damn what the rest of it looks like, but he's got a pretty mouth, so
and then Michael,
they hired him for the deliverance aspect of it.
Keaton, he's a little Batman.
Oh my God, it was like Oompa Loompa Batman. It was like a little action figure running across, and here's everybody else towering above it.
Yeah, like
I
Bruce
did
Wayne,
not buy
like Bruce
Michael
Wayne
Keaton's
is like
Batman.
6'4".
Yeah, I didn't buy that at all. But I was thinking today, if they ever did, now, bear with me here, Clooney's Batman.
The nipple suit?
Yes. I liked Clooney as Bruce Wayne. Very believable. He's, George Clooney, after all, billionaire playboy. So it totally kind of works. Mm-hmm. Now, I was thinking, if they ever do a Batman Beyond, Clooney would be a great Bruce Wayne.
Don't get me started on Batman Beyond, please.
Seriously, I think Clooney would make a great Bruce Wayne for that series.
Well, Batman Beyond,
he's the right age almost.
As you know, Batman Beyond is my favorite series. As you know, sorry, I'm getting used to this new camera.
Yeah.
But as you know, which you don't, Batman Beyond is my favorite Batman of all time because eventually Bruce Wayne does have to get old. And in the starting of the animated series, he was still in the newest Batman suit. But, it's almost like an Iron Man suit. It does have a lot of abilities. It can fly.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff. But it's a lot more realistic and justified.
Well, it's also a lot further in the future, too.
Well, yeah, it's like 2020 or something.
Yeah, so there's going to be tech involved in the suit.
But it shows him, like, in the first opening scene, and he's just getting wailed on by just grunts, and he's just not doing it. And then he retires, and then, like, 5 years pass, and they introduce a new character. It's this little punk kid, Terry McGinnis. And he's hanging out with friends and stuff, and they mentioned Bruce Wayne's house, and he breaks in, and he discovers the Batman suit, and gets in it.
Yeah.
And then he's flying around, and then Bruce Wayne's just like, I don't know who you are, but this suit's gonna blow up. and then, he does some more things, and then Bruce Wayne's just like, this kid's got some skills. I could use this. And then it starts getting into it, and they introduce all the old villains, like Bane, Mr. Freeze, the Penguin.
Bane! Hello, Batman!
Actually, they explain that the implants kept him alive longer. And Mr. Freeze was just a head.
Like Futurama.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I love Charleston Chew.
But the whole series is just magnificent because Bruce Wayne does eventually have to get old. And even if he does get old, there's still going to be that sense for him that he's got to protect the city still.
Yeah.
And without being able to protect the city, it's just
he's got to get somebody else to do it for him.
And the Terry McGinnis is very great because he's very young. I mean, he's still in high school in this Batman.
Oh, was he? Okay.
He's a junior in high school. He's my age.
Gotcha.
And also, did you know Seth Green was in that show?
Seth Green, really?
Yeah, he voiced one of the bullies and a couple villains.
Oh.
I didn't even notice it until recently watching it again.
We both like Seth Green. He's a pretty cool guy.
He's pretty universally funny.
Mm-hmm.
You give him a topic, he'll make you laugh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Robot Chicken.
I love that.
That's every topic. He did every topic on that show. There is everything. It was great.
Everything from 60s cartoons to the A-Team.
To Star Wars. He did Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars.
God, Robot Chicken Star Wars special was so fucking funny.
It was.
We'll get to Star Wars. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking Clooney would make a great Batman for that series. He's older,
The only issue is finding a Terry McGinnis. There's a lot of little
it'd have to be an
actors.
unknown. I think that would be the best way to do it. Just get an unknown.
The only thing about the Batman, one thing actually with Batman Beyond that would be very nice is every superhero is built.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah, every superhero is built. They look good. They're sculptured. Yeah. But Terry McGinnis is a high school kid. He's not built whatsoever.
Thin and lanky.
And the suit does most of the work for him, but eventually, he does come and do his own.
Yeah.
And speaking of DC Universe in general, the Cartoon Network show Teen Titans was by far the best for Kanan of any
Teen Titans was pretty
series.
Sweet. Yeah. God, I don't even remember how old you were when you started watching that. Probably 7 or 8.
No, I was younger than that. I was like 4.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I used to watch it with him once in a while, and I remember I used to watch Barney with him. I mean, no, Blue's Clues.
Yeah, and then we got
he loved Blue's Clues.
We both got really into Codename Kid Next Door.
That was a pretty good show.
Yeah, that was.
That was a good show. Yeah. What other shows from your childhood do you remember?
All the incarnations of Scooby-Doo from the originals to like the 80s one where they were kids and then
that one sucked.
And then all the, as they started getting newer and ruining the series, I started losing interest.
I think Scooby-Doo peaked with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes.
Bong hits in the back of the Mystery Machine. Velma and Daphne getting
Doobie
half
snacks.
naked. And, oh, yeah. Doobie snacks.
Doobie snacks.
That was awesome.
By the way, Jay and Silent Bob are some of our favorites.
They know that.
Yep. Good. I was raised on Jay and Silent Bob, as a matter of fact. Mallrats was the first Jay and Silent Bob flick I ever saw.
And they're doing a second one.
I'm so glad.
I can't wait. And the only one they don't have yet is Batfleck. They're going to... Kevin's waiting until he gets the part just perfect, and then he's going to approach Batfleck about it. Speaking of Batfleck,
Oh, can we go back to the topic about the cartoon?
Oh, yeah. Shit, sorry. My bad. Sorry.
And this kind of ties into Star Wars. I know we're not into the Star Wars minute, but this was a cartoon, and I was watching it, which was the Clone Wars.
Oh,
and
I love that show.
They had 2 types of the Clone Wars. The first one started at, 2004, and it was, very graphic novel-y.
They had, they had, a cartoon one, and then, a CG one.
Yeah, the cartoon one was it looked like straight out of a graphic novel.
Yeah.
But it was still that was what started us into it, and then it went off air, and we were like, oh, that's disappointing. And then about 4 years later, the CG one comes out in between 3 and 4, and
it was good.
It's just perfect.
It was amazing, and now they're doing callbacks in Star Wars Rebels, so very cool. But we'll get to the Star Wars minute in a bit. We're just going to take the 10-minute Star Wars minute and spread it out over the whole fucking podcast. That's just the way it's going to go.
There'll be a super cut at the end of that, something that's just a Star Wars minute.
But Batfleck. Ben Affleck is going to be Batman in the new Superman versus Batman.
I don't like Batfleck.
You don't like Batfleck?
I don't like Batfleck because Batfleck, I meant Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck has always been in these cutesy romantic movies, like Jersey Girl. It's a cutesy, artsy-fartsy movie.
Kinda.
And then, he does Argo and he's had 2 or 3 good action movies.
He did Daredevil, for fuck's sake.
I said good action movies.
But, he's already proven... Well, I don't know if he's proven it, but he's done a superhero movie now.
Ryan Reynolds did The Green Lantern, and that was a flop. But
that's true.
Now he's doing Deadpool, which is by far...
Can't wait for fucking Deadpool. Oh, God, that's going to just be the bee's knees.
I got my dad into Deadpool.
Oh, fuck. He got me into Deadpool so hard, and those... Actually, the trailer got me into Deadpool.
What got me into Deadpool, honestly, was...
Deadpool's my kind of superhero.
I like Spider-Man.
Be a dick and shoot shit. That's my kind of guy.
I like Spider-Man, and the thing about Spider-Man I liked is he broke the 4th wall.
Oh, speaking of... Deadpool totally does. By the way, Tobey Maguire is the only fucking Spider-Man there is.
Yes. Andrew Garfield, honestly, was... as the actual Spider-Man... He was really good. As Peter Parker, it was Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire had the best performance all around. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is spindly, little thin shit.
Yeah, and he's like a skater and a hipster.
Yeah, fuck all that. Peter Parker was a nerd, and so was Tobey Maguire in those movies.
I think they were trying to step away from the nerd stereotype.
Which they shouldn't have, because Peter Parker was a fucking nerd. He was a bookworm. He was a straight A student. He was a genius. How else do you invent fucking web shooters? Although they didn't invent them for the movie, but
you're talking Amazing Spider-Man.
He didn't actually jizz them out of his fucking wrist. No, these were canisters that he built, and it was a machine, and it would actually shoot shit. He was a genius.
The only thing that sucks about Spider-Man movies is we cannot decide on a Spider-Man because the Spider-Man universe is so large. There's so many costumes and variants.
There's a million different Spider-Mans. Yeah, there's Spider-Man 2099.
Which is my favorite. Yeah, Noir Spider-Man was pretty good. It was about Peter Parker in the 1930s, and he got bit by a cursed spider. And he has all the abilities of Spider-Man. And this ties into Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. There was a universe that Doctor Strange visited.
Oh, okay. And
he wore a shorter trench coat, above the knee, and he wore this leather mask with the goggles, and he was a really stealth-based Spider-Man. Mm. He lurked in the shadows. He worked at night mostly. Most of the other Spider-Mans worked at daytime, and he just whatever really.
Well, you can see in the daytime, which is important. But yeah, so comic books aside. We're gonna venture away from the comic books here. We can talk more about that later. If you guys want to talk more comic books, just put it down below in the comments. And
we are the comic book guys.
We'll talk comic books. I don't know all the shit from all the universes, but I'm getting into some stuff. So
I do. I have definitely outgrown the master in this situation.
It's every parent's wish that your child does better than you. I think I've succeeded.
Oh, I dominate you in sci-fi and comic books.
I was going to say, I'm glad you just put that disclaimer on the end there, because, So, let's get to the Star Wars Minute. What the hell? Hand them to me. I picked up issue number 1 of the new Star Wars... Wow, that's glaring like a son of a bitch. Here, No, I don't want to take it out. Of the new Star Wars comic book. God, the glare is horrible. Anyway, if you like it, check it out for yourself. I actually got 2. Oh, yeah, there's the other one. I got 2. Because one is the regular issue that they put out The other one is the director's cut.
Lucas cut.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's the...
Blocking out my face.
See? The podcast is so much better now.
Yeah.
But no, I'm keeping the original one mint in the package. I'm not even going to open it. I read this one. Comics. Damn good. If you guys haven't read it, if you're Star Wars geeks, go check it out. It's actually really good. It's a Han, Leia, Chewie, 3PO. This takes place after A New Hope. And so it's between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back is when this takes place. I mean, it's literally like a week later is when it picks up.
If you're a Star Wars geek in general, please check out the Extended Universe comic books.
Don't check out the Extended Universe because it's not canon anymore.
Check out the Extended Universe just because it's some good reads. Because before the Extended Universe, you have, all the 6 movies. And Darth Vader is, in the movies, pretty much the badass of badasses. He's the Sith.
Yeah.
I mean, the Emperor was there too, but eventually he did get overthrown by Vader, so that makes Vader the best.
Right.
But in the Extended Universe, you've got like Darth Bane, whose entire skeleton is held together by the Force, and then you've got they explain so much about Jedis. There's neutral, there's the gray Jedis, which have no side of the Force, and they just fight whenever, and then they have a lot of the dark sides, and there's one Sith who's so powerful he actually left like a hole in the Force. And it killed off a lot of Jedi and just from his birth, and it was.
But it's not canon.
I know.
Disney said, too much shit to remember. Get rid of it. So, but the comic books, I only have issue number 1. The comic book shop did not have issue number 2. They did have 11, by the way. JCD and Hobby. If you're in Des Moines and you want comic books, JCD and Hobby. There are a couple more shops in town that do stock this. So I'm going to go check them out tomorrow. But no, I got issue number 1, and I'm very worth the read. Very good comic. And so far, I think they're up to 11 or 12. Not sure exactly which.
Speaking of Star Wars, did you remember that game I used to play, The Force Unleashed?
Yes.
The first one was fantastic. The second one, I killed it completely. I won't even talk about the second one. I mean, I will about how they ruined it. But the first one is in between 3 and 4, full-on Darth Vader. He needs an apprentice, and he's going off to different worlds, killing Jedi, following Order 66, and he goes to Kashyyyk again. He's fighting off Wookiees, and then he senses a disturbance in the Force, and he goes to this temple, and there's a Jedi protecting his little boy, and Vader senses something about the little kid. He senses that the kid is much more powerful than he, and he starts training him, and the kid becomes a mastery with the saber and the Force.
Yeah,
he can use both sabers.
What was the kid's name?
Star Killer.
That's it. Thank you. Which is also trivia. Is also the name of Luke Skywalker's original. It was Luke Starkiller before they edited.
And in this one, Starkiller has to start fighting off Jedi. And eventually he starts meeting up with some of the Jedi from the show. Eventually, the first Jedi is just a general from somewhere. And then he meets up with, I'm trying to remember. I haven't played the game in so long. I believe it's Leia. And she says, "You're working for Vader again. I don't think you should do that." And she ends up convincing him to the light side. And he becomes a Jedi, and the only reason why he really becomes a Jedi is because, he hasn't experienced anything else. He's only known the dark side.
Yeah.
And he eventually starts working with the rebels, and then Vader finds out, stabs him in the chest with a saber.
Dun, dun, dun.
And throws him off into space. But then...
spoiler alert!
I should have mentioned that. I feel like a tool now.
Sorry.
But I'm going to explain the whole plot.
Hurry up!
And his girlfriend ends up picking him up, who is just a pilot for the Empire, and he ends up completely going on to the Jedi side. At the end, he's got a choice between killing the Emperor or killing Vader, and you don't kill either of them. I mean, you just maim. But
considering they're both alive in 4, 5, and 6, I'm pretty sure what choice happened there.
Yeah, but if you're going to the dark side, you have to attack Vader. If you're going to the light side, you have to attack the Emperor. It leaves you with a lot of choice in the game, and the gameplay is very nice. It
was a good game. I found it a bit easy, but it was a good game.
Have you not played it on Master?
No. I don't remember what we played it on, but we
played it on Apprentice.
Did we? Okay, well, we breezed through it pretty quick. I mean, in like a day.
Well, I also did that for plot purposes.
We wanted to get to the cutscenes and shit, but
it's a lot of hack and slash games don't have a lot of replayability, but this one you could just play infinitely.
Yeah. And nice segue. Speaking of Star Wars games, that brings us to the new Star Wars Battlefront. They had the open beta last weekend. If you guys got a chance to check it out, it was beautiful. The graphics are amazing. My graphics card melted down twice, completely crashed because it was running like 83 degrees Celsius. Computer didn't like it much, but I still kept playing. Horribly unbalanced. If you were a rebel, you had no chance of winning in multiplayer sessions. If you were an Imperial, you were always going to win because your guns were a lot more powerful and you had better armor. I don't know what the hell the deal was, but I'm sure they'll work that out. It was a beta after all. It was a beta test, but hopefully they'll figure that out. The single-player missions were really cool. Not near enough bad guys coming at you. I mean, you get a wave of troops. There's like 4. It's like, come on, send me a battalion. Send me 30 dudes to knock off. But all in all, it was a great game. I'm totally going to buy it when it comes out. And if we can do videos on it, I'm going to.
That would be nice.
I'd like to do some videos on the campaign, and then do maybe just some random multiplayer shit. Maybe get some of the subs in there for that. But I loved it. I'd like to know if you guys played it. Please let me know what you guys thought of it. I thought it was really good. Like I said, absolutely beautiful game, and it was really, really cool to play on Hoth. I never did do the, what was it? I think there was the Tatooine was the other option for multiplayer, but I never did do that one. But I played on a Hoth, and it was so cool. You got to run through the base in the Hoth and fight AT-ATs and ATSTs, and it was really cool.
My favorite thing actually about Battlefront 2 was the Hoth map, because on the PC you could have the 128 versus 128 lobbies, and it was a full-scale war.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the way this is. There's like, well, it wasn't quite that big, but I think there was like 30 people on each side.
The one reason why I am steering away from Battlefront 3, I mean, yes, I will play it. I already adore it. But they took out the space battles.
No. There's flight missions involved.
Okay.
Yeah, there's missions that are lobbies and missions that are nothing but flight.
Okay, good, because that was like whenever I owned Battlefront 2, that was the only missions I'd play.
Yeah.
Was the space battles, because you'd actually have to take down an enemy carrier.
Pretty
much single-handedly.
With this one, you can totally do just flight missions. It looks like it's going to be amazing. Yeah.
I can't wait to run over somebody.
Can you imagine a lobby of 30 versus 30?
Even 128 versus 128.
Well, yeah, but that'd be a big server. Yeah. But I mean, a 30 versus 30 space battle, God, that's going to be awesome. I mean, the mission, the games actually lasted for a really good long time. They were a good, 15, 20 minutes apiece. They were a little scripted. The Hoth one, the Hoth one's the only one I played. It was a little scripted, like, the AT-ATs start here, and then as the battle progresses, they get to here, and by the time they get to here, you have to destroy them. So, everybody on the map would move along with it. So it's like, what the hell's going on back here? Nothing's going on back here.
I'm going on back here.
He's going on back here. But, yeah, they were a little bit scripted that way. It didn't feel quite as open as it should have, because they're, like, directing the traffic.
Oh, I just had a wonderful idea.
I don't know. What?
You know how amazing this Battlefront 3 space battles will be with an Oculus Rift and a joystick?
Can't wait for Oculus Rift. What was that move?
That was the joystick.
He was doing this.
Yeah, and more circular.
Oh. Yeah. Like the Cabbage Patch. Yeah.
Except with the joystick.
So that's the Star Wars Minute that took 10, or pretty close to it anyway.
Yours makes no difference, 10. Yeah.
Doesn't make any difference. So, because I don't want an 8 gigabyte file this week, which it was 8 freaking gigabytes for this podcast last week. Like I said, I think we're going to call it good here for today. You guys all have yourselves a wonderful day. Please hit the like button if you like. Subscribe if you're new. And if you are new, say something down below in the comments. Introduce yourself. We'd like to meet you.
We would.
Don't forget, stay tuned. Directly here, you're going to see the dog footage. So, you guys have a good one. Peace out.
One more thing. If you guys like me, there's a good chance that I can show up a lot more on this channel and we can all have some good laughs.
But he said, see ya.
See ya.
All right, so a couple of days ago, I had a conversation on Google Plus, of all places, with Veronica about dogs, and I had mentioned, my love of Star Wars and everything, and we talked about my dog and everything, and she had wanted to know what my dog looked like, and we kind of shared this funny little picture of a dog that looked like Chewbacca, and it really totally did. But I happened to mention that my dog looked like Chewbacca too, and she's like, "Oh, please show your dog." I'm like, "All right, well, as soon as the next time he comes out of the bedroom." It is 3:00 in the morning. He's usually in with my girlfriend sleeping, but he just popped out. So this is Rowdy, and right now he's kind of pissed off. So he doesn't look so much like Chewbacca, but and he's very camera shy. He is a sweetheart, though. Okay, that was the cutest damn thing ever. Aw, he's giving me hugs. He's scared. All the bright lights scare him. It's okay, puppy. No, you're not going to do it. You're not going to look like Chewbacca today. He actually does this thing where he kind of meows, and he kind of sounds like Chewbacca when he does it. He's like, kind of like that. It's kind of funny. No, he's tired. Are you tired? Is you tired? He's eyeballing the bedroom. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. Say bye to everybody, buddy. Damn paws need trimmed. That's not claws. That's just hair. Like his feet messed with. It's just hair on his paws. All right. So that's Rowdy, everybody. Say hi to Rowdy. What a good boy. Get you a good boy. All right. Well. And that's that.